If I could go back in time and talk to my teenage self, here's what I'd say. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Lucy here, but before we get started, if you like the video, please like, subscribe, or at least comment. Maybe things that you wish you told your younger self, or if you have younger people in your life, what do you tell them? Today we're going to be talking about things that I wish I knew in my teens. And hopefully this is relatable to some people my age. So I'm close to 30, very, very close to 30. And I wanted to kind of bestow some wisdom upon the younger generation. I guess I'm not that old though. I just want to say I don't feel that old. I'm not that old. I'm not like, that wise old woman in those movies who are like, well, the past is like, no. This is just some things that I wish I knew personally. The first point is that it's okay to not have it all figured out, right? Paths change, and I am a perfect example of this. So when I went to school initially, so I'm talking college, I have gone to college, oh gosh, 3 times. Wow. And each time has been a very different experience. So the first time I went was between 2014 and 18, and I received my first bachelor's of fine arts in acting. And then after that, I went to a year of Bible college, and then for a certificate program, and then I went to work, my first big girl job, and that's when COVID hit, and it was in a medical office, and it was crazy. Sorry. And I was like, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Right? And so anyway, and the answer was no. So I got some divine intervention, and I was like, you know what? I think I want to go back to school, and I'm going to become a teacher of English, an English teacher. And so I did that. I received my second bachelor's and my master's in English adolescence education. And so it just goes to show you that paths are not carved out. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that we expect like 17, 18-year-olds to say, okay, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I'm going to stick to that, and nothing's going to change. It's going to change. Life is going to happen, right? And if it changes, great. If it doesn't change, that's great. Either way, nothing's wrong. It's just a different path, right? Number 2, your worth isn't tied to grades, popularity, or your appearance, okay? This is so important because I remember a time where I thought it was. I thought my worth was based on my grades, popularity, and appearance, and it's not. It's based on who you are as a person, who you identify with within yourself. Like if you can look at yourself in the mirror before you go to bed and you like the person that you see in your PJs and whatever you sleep in, that is the person staring back at you, and that's the person that you have to go to sleep with. And is your conscience clear? Is it not? Maybe there are some things that you said or did that day that weren't really the best, but how can you be better the next day? Number 3, friends will come and go, and that's normal. This is something that I'm still learning. Again, I am almost 30 years old. I remember I had a friend actually in college, and we were real tight. We bonded over the fact that we were going to the same college, that we were in the same field of the degree that we were in, and we were both brought up with similar parents. Suddenly everything changed. Everything changed. There were some decisions that I made that I absolutely regret, but after that, things just kind of dissipated between us, and things kind of just separated. We separated naturally, and it was one of the hardest things that I have experienced. And I still think about this person sometimes to this day, and I wonder What would have happened if we were able to, I don't know, reconcile and still be friends, right? Still be friends and still have that momentum to our relationship. So, but again, friends come and go for a season. Sometimes they're a lesson to be learned, and sometimes you're the lesson to be learned. That's what I've learned. So, number 4, boundaries are powerful, not rude. All right? Saying no doesn't mean that you are rude or mean or condescending to someone. No means no. Boundaries are absolutely a given when it comes to anything in your life, whether it includes relationships or friendships or something that you need to be dealing with on your own or with a trusted adult, right? But that doesn't make you weak, that doesn't make you mean, and that doesn't make you less of a human being because you're setting up hard lines in the sand of saying, no, this is where my boundary is. This is where I can say that I know my worth and my value, and I don't want to do that. And I don't want to be that kind of person. So if someone is making you cross your own boundary, nix them. Done. That's it. Like, bye-bye. Have a funeral for them in your head and move on. Number 5, it's cool to care. Acting like you don't care about something and trying to fit in backfires 100% of the time. Because if you pretend that you don't care about anything, then eventually people are going to notice that and they're going to be like, what does this person believe? Or like, how can I connect with this person? So you don't want to believe in everything and you don't want to believe in nothing. You need to sift. You need to be like one of those like grain sifters and sift through your own personal beliefs and your own values and your own identity and be like, you know what, this is what is important to me and it is valuable. And I think that people could learn from A, B, and C. If there's something that you're passionate about, be passionate about it. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy because I used to want to like toe the line, like the in-between line, I'll call it. And I wouldn't disagree, but if I didn't agree, then I wouldn't agree. I would just be like, and then try to move the conversation in a different direction. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but that is what I did in order to fit in more when it came to my friend groups and my surroundings, right? And I'm learning to stand for what I believe. Number 6, social media isn't real life at all. And I think we've heard this, like this is a dead horse beat at this point. People curate or they make this image of what they think real life is, like on their wall, on their feed, and then you have that complex of like, oh, I wish my life was like this. It's like, no, you don't, because chances are that's not the real life that they're actually living. Like, people post highlights of their life. Like, social media is literally a highlights of a person's life. Now, if you post real down in the dump stuff, I'm so sorry. I hope it gets better. But usually, from what I've seen personally, it's people posting the highlights of their life, people sharing their stories, people sharing what is important to them, and like, look at me, hi, how many likes do I have on this one? You know, that kind of thing. But again, social media isn't real life, and you have no idea what someone is actually going through until you talk to them in person, you talk to them on the phone, maybe you text them, maybe you FaceTime them, I don't know. But social media isn't real life, so don't feel too bad if your life doesn't look as curated or as perfect as people's lives on social media. All right? And then the last one, you are enough even when you feel left behind or unseen. Everyone has a different story. Everyone has a different path. And to make sure that you hear this, I'm going to say it again. Everybody has a different story. Everybody has a different path. No two people's paths are the same. They're going to get crisscrossed. They're going to overlap. But that's still your unique story. So you live your story. Please just take away that you are not alone, right? You're watching this video, right? And if you need someone to talk to, hi. But also, if you have people or supports in your life, utilize those and foster like real connections, and make sure that the people value you for you. I think that is so important as well. But just because you feel left behind or you're unsure of who you are doesn't make you any less of a human being. All right. Thanks guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please like, comment, or subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. Drop a comment down below of what you would say to your younger self, or something that maybe you wish that I talked about, or maybe something that you're going through right now. That would be greatly appreciated. I'd love to build a community on here. But that is all for now. I will talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.